What is up, legendaries? It is your girl, Ameenha Lee, and today we're diving into Sinners, a supernatural thriller with bite, heart, and some powerful symbolism that might have flown under your radar, but don't worry because we're going to talk about it all in today's YouTube video. Now, if you love layered storytelling, spiritual depth, and a standout performance from Michael B. Jordan, and of course, an amazing film that is just another stamp, another legendary stamp, a part of Ryan Coogler's resume, Sinners is the film for you. Now, before we get started and dive more deeper into this video, as do the cliche YouTube, intro, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and join a legendary squad for more legendary videos like this, and check out my other previous shorts and videos, and follow me on my socials below, and let's get started. Now, Sinners takes us to a very poetic Mississippi Delta. Twin brothers portrayed by Michael B. Jordan, which he does amazing at, aka Smoke and Stack. They return home from Chicago, only to find out that their roots are tangled in something much deeper than bloodlines. Story blends family secrets, vampires, cultural heritage, and spiritual reckonings in a way that almost feels like a myth. You meet Grace, Perline, Delta, Sammy, and Annie, each of them playing a part in this tangled web of truth and deception, legacy, and survival. One of the most powerful spiritual cues comes very early, in my opinion, with Native American elders warning that something dangerous is already inside their home. Now, if you don't remember, you remember that there was a couple that was the first to get turned into vampires, and the Native American elders were pretty much going to save their dang life, and they were like, hey, there's something dangerous inside your home, and it's not something that, you think it is. And they were unfortunately being very stupid and did not want to listen, and they fabricated and said that there's nobody inside their house, but they turned into vampires shortly after that. So one man on the horseback says, you pretty much need to leave. We all need to leave. It's getting dark outside, because we knew with the vampires that they became the most powerful at the nighttime, because when it's daytime, they unfortunately are gonna melt and they gonna go back inside. And it's a metaphor, in my opinion. I think ultimately it represents that darkness here symbolizes generational trauma, spiritual invasion, and ancestral unrest. These are not just vampires, they're metaphors for inherited pain. Now, when Annie urges everyone to take garlic, Smoke, Grace, Perline, Sammy, and it's not just a traditional vampire test, it's symbolic of spiritual discernment. Garlic in many cultures, of course, if you've seen many movies, you might remember that a lot of vampires don't like garlic, and it reminds me of a particular scene in, surprisingly, the Disney show Wizards of Waverly Place, and I believe it was a specific vampire, and they were like, we don't like garlic. I just remember that for some reason. Garlic is always a theme that comes up, especially in Hollywood, but in this specific film, garlic is something that protects pretty much the cast from, being turned into vampires. And it's used to cleanse and protect, and we see that Annie is more of a, how can I say, she's a spiritual godmother. She has gifts to protect. She was the one to tell everyone, hey, these people, this is some supernatural stuff. These are vampires. She says it out of her mouth, and she's the one that says, we need the holy water. We need Florida water. I think it was one or the other. Somebody let me know below in the comments. We need garlic. We need wooden sticks, because she knew that these were things that were going to protect them, and of course to help them make it into sunrise, which unfortunately my queen did not make it. I was crying, y'all, but thankfully she was reunited with her daughter. So I think Annie is somebody who was a very crucial character, and she was honestly a breakthrough character. I honestly love the actress who portrayed her. Now back into the script. So garlic pretty much, represents that it separates the living from the spiritually lost, and it forces characters to confront what they become or what is hidden within. Now, the wooden stakes don't just kill the vampires. They're tools of truth, symbolizing resistance and rootedness. Wood in many spiritual practices connects humans to nature and ancestral power. Also, driving a stake through someone's heart, it's like piercing through centuries of lies and facades. Now, if you guys have watched Vampire Diaries like myself, you guys might remember with the wooden stake. Of course, unfortunately, wouldn't hurt everybody, but that was something a very common tool that was used, and of course other, films and TV shows as well. Now, one of my favorite moments is how Sinners honors the blues, not just as music. This scene was like super trippy to me, but in a good way. And this is not just portrayed as music, it's portrayed as a spiritual force. The film shows how the blues has transcended generations, how modern music, hip hop, DJing, rhythm, the girls twerking in the film, like everything with black culture and the blues has transcended. So even though it's rap, it's still blues. Even though somebody is DJing, it's still blues. And even the music from the past, and how that was like an amazing symbolism. And it's not just sound, it's our history, it's our soul, and it doesn't control us like religion sometimes. I forgot what character particularly said that. And even though sometimes tries to, it unites us, and music becomes a bridge between past pain and future hope. Now, I do want to give some spotlight to Michael B. Jordan. Playing twins, Smoke and Stack, that is not an easy feat, but he makes them feel like two completely separate twins. Like, honestly, like, I know throughout the beginning of the film, they were like together, like always together. But then throughout the film, they started to have like, separate scenes and everything. And I was like, oh, like, like this is Smoke, this is Stack. And I was like, this is so crazy as an actor, how you're able to differentiate two different characters, even though you're twins. But I know it's like, okay, like this one's Smoke, this one's Stack. Like it was super crazy, and I think he did an impeccable job, including the whole entire cast. I think this film was amazing, and I honestly would love for a part two. But I just think he did amazing. Like with Smoke, he was quiet. He carries trauma in his body language, and Stack with the swagger and the secrets, and he holds a different kind of darkness. And his performance is layered, commanding, and honestly one of his best yet. But honestly, if you have not watched Sinners yet, please, I beg you to go watch it in movie theaters. I think this was so amazing. But I really wanted this movie review to be more of course, about the film a little bit, but more about the spiritual symbolisms. If I missed one, let me know below, because, I might have missed one. Let me know if I did below. But we'd love to know your thoughts about Sinners below in the comments, so we can talk about this amazing film. Like I have said various times throughout this video, I need a part two expeditiously. But would love to know what you guys think. What characters were your favorite? What was your favorite scene? Honestly, my favorite scene was the blues, and how all of the characters were dancing, and you saw like the modern and the past. That scene was dynamically just beautiful. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. He did his thing. I hope his pillow is cold at night, always. But shout out to the amazing cast, the cinematographers, the producers, and of course the amazing director of Sinners for making this incredible film. Let me know what you guys think below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys next video.